What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Really quick, I want to put it out there that I am a little bit late on this recap. I do apologize. My husband was out of town. He's back now. While he was out of town, of course, full mama duty. I didn't do any videos or anything. Now he's back, and today my face is swollen again. I told you guys already that I had an allergic reaction to what I assume was the glue for my eyelash extensions. However, for some reason, my face has still really been acting up. You guys can see that this side is swollen. But I'm going to try to work as much as possible, even with my face acting crazy. I may need to take a few days where I just do voiceovers so I can let my face like breathe without any products on it. So if my next few videos is voiceovers, you guys know why. Now, to get into this recap, Mama June, this episode is called Scared Straight, and I've been waiting for this one. Last Friday, we did not have like an actual episode. We had like a 10-minute teaser into this episode. So I'm going to give you guys like a small gist of where we were and where we're going to pick up at. Ella's birthday party, Pumpkin had invited Mama June and Geno and told them that they could come in for the weekend and that they could stay at her house. Now Josh is working for Sugar Bear, and Josh let it slip that Pumpkin was pregnant, and he invited Sugar Bear and Jennifer to the birthday party because he had no idea that Pumpkin had invited Mama June and Geno. So the party has started and everybody ends up showing up, and Mama June is shocked that they're there. Jennifer and Sugar Bear, they're shocked that Mama June is there, but everybody tries to make the best of it for a minute, for a little bit anyways. At some point it does get to where Mama June and Jennifer, they're just really going back and forth, making these sly comments. You're fat, you've been eating a lot, you know, just like crazy comments. Jennifer ends up spilling the beans that Pumpkin is pregnant. She tells Mama June that Pumpkin is pregnant. So Mama June yells at Pumpkin, "Pumpkin, you're going to have another child and you didn't tell me." Now, not only did Mama June not know this, but Alana did not know this either. So when Mama June asked Pumpkin this very loudly, Alana heard and was like, "What the heck? You're pregnant and you didn't tell me?" And Alana stormed off into the house. As Alana's taken off in the house, Pumpkin follows her, and Pumpkin tells Jennifer, "Thanks a lot, Jennifer. You just ruined everything." Jennifer stands up and says, "Well, my job here is done." She turns to Mike and she says, "If you're coming with me, you better get your little butt to the vehicle now. If not, you can be camping in their backyard again." She gets up and she goes to the front, and she's waiting by her car. Now, Pumpkin goes inside, Mama June goes inside, and Dodo, Amber, and Josh, Geno, and Sugar Bear, they're all still in the backyard. So Josh is just like, "Well, what a birthday party, you know, like, I'm sorry all this happened. I had no idea any of this was going to happen." He turns to Sugar Bear and is like, "I'm sorry, you know, I apologize. I did not know that she was going to be here. I didn't know that Mama June and Geno was going to be here. She didn't tell me that she invited them, or I would have let you know." And he did say, he said, "I tried to call you on your way over here to tell you guys to turn around, but I couldn't get you on the phone." Sugar Bear goes to get up. Josh like shakes his hand and he's like, "I'll see you tomorrow at work." And Sugar Bear says, "Oh, well, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that." He gets up and he walks to the front where he meets Jennifer, who is waiting by the car. And Sugar Bear says, like, "Did you have to do that? I'm trying to rebuild my relationship with my daughter, and like, this is how you act, and now I got to see Josh at work. Like, was this necessary?" And Jennifer says, "Ain't you the boss?" And Sugar Bear's like, "Yes, I am." And Jennifer's like, "Well, you can fire him. You don't have to see him at work. You can let him go." And it's almost like that's what she expects him to do. Sugar Bear tells her, he says, you know, "Josh has really helped me, like, try to make my relationship with Alana better. And by helping him, by giving him a job, ultimately I'm helping Alana. So I don't know if I can do that." And she's like, "No, you can do that." So they then get in the vehicle and they leave. Inside, Mama June, Pumpkin, and Alana, they are in Alana's bedroom. Alana's laying across the bed, and she asks Pumpkin, like, "Why didn't you tell me?" And Pumpkin like explains to her, she's like, "Look, you already think that you're a burden. You were trying to coupon the other day. I don't want you stressed out. And I knew if I told you that we were having another baby, that it could cause more stress. It would make you feel even more so like you were a burden. And I just don't want that. Like, I don't want you to ever think that you're causing strain on our family. You're not. Like, we got it, but that is why I didn't tell you. It wasn't intentionally. I just didn't want to hurt your feelings." And Alana's like, but you told Jennifer? So I don't understand. Like, why would you tell Jennifer? And Pumpkin lets Alana know that she did not tell Jennifer, and she had no idea that Jennifer knew, that Josh must have told Sugar Bear, and Sugar Bear must have told Jennifer. Mama June, clearly she's upset too that Jennifer knew about her daughter being pregnant before her. So she talks a little bit. In a confessional, she says that she had no idea that Pumpkin and Josh have struggled like financially to take care of Alana. And hearing the fact that they have, and that Alana recognizes that, and Alana has tried to go out of her way to help by couponing and stuff like that, that it makes her proud of Pumpkin for what she's done for Alana, that she tries so hard to take care of her. And she's like, I can help them. Like, I don't want Alana to ever feel like financially she's a burden on someone, so I need to step up and I need to help them. And back in the room, that's what she tells them. She tells Pumpkin, she says, if you ever feel like you're having a hard time, like, call me. I will help you. I want to help you. And she tells Alana, she's like, if you're ever struggling where you're feeling like a burden, you call me. Like, I want to be there for you guys. I can help financially. I can help emotionally. You guys just let me know and I will be there for you guys. So, it kind of ends that scene where they're talking about a baby name, and Alana's like, I'm gonna need you to name that baby Alana for not telling me that you were pregnant. Alana says, well, maybe you should name it Jennifer since she's the one that knew first. And Pumpkin says, I think we're gonna name it TBD, to be determined. She's like, we'll just wait and we'll figure it out. So next scene is actually later that night after the party. They're having pizza for dinner. It's late. Everybody's sitting around the little table in the living room and everybody's talking. And Mama June says that it looks like one big happy family. And Geno says, you got that right. We sure do look like one big happy family. He makes a lot of jokes like that. It's just really funny. Mama June asked Josh, why did he invite Jennifer and Sugar Bear? And Josh says, well, I didn't know that your daughter invited you and old Geno, or I wouldn't have invited him. And she actually tries to like kind of get on to Josh a little bit. She's like, you just can't be inviting people and not talking to your wife about it. So Josh is like, you need to gripe at your daughter too, because she invited y'all and didn't tell me about it. So gripe at her as well. They have a good afternoon after the party, even though the party was somewhat kind of ruined. That evening when they're eating pizza in the living room, they're having a good time. Geno and Josh, they do say like, okay, we're gonna go to bed. They call it a night. They go to bed. Later on, we see Mama June and Geno in Alana's bed, and they're laying down and they're talking about what happened that day. They're talking about the party. They're talking about the fact that Pumpkin is pregnant. And at one point, Mama June says, I cannot believe it. Jennifer called me fat. And Geno says, I think it would be even more strange if she would have called you slim. And Mama June said, no, I'm just chubby. Like, I'm not fat, I'm just chubby. So they talk about the party and how things went down. They talk about the fact that Pumpkin is pregnant. They talk about some of the things that Jennifer said. And then they start talking about jail. And Mama June's just like, I don't think we're going to go to jail. If we do, they'll put us in some like celebrity jail because we're famous. We'll have a chef and stuff. And Geno's like, that is not how it is. Like, they don't have jails for celebrities. Like, you're going to be in like a real jail with people that may want to beat you up. Like, you can't just be talking to people however. And then in a confessional, we see Geno say like, she does not get it. She does not understand that this is serious. We could go to jail for a while. And he says that he thinks he's going to have to do something drastic to get her attention and to make her realize how serious this is. So the next morning, Pumpkin wakes up and she's trying to wake Josh up for work. And she's like, look, you got to get up. You got to go to work today. And Josh says, I don't think so. Like, I don't think I have a job after what happened last night. And he lets Pumpkin know that after she went inside, he talked to Sugar Bear. And Sugar Bear basically let him know that he didn't know if he was going to be able to let him continue working for him. And she says, look, you just need to go over there, talk to Sugar Bear, let him know that it's the women's fault, that it was us. It wasn't nothing that you done, that you had no idea that I invited Mama. Just blame it on the women. She's like, whatever you got to do. You're an adult. Go over there, kiss his butt if you have to, because we need this job. Like, we got a baby coming, and I need you to get this job back. And he asked her, he's like, well, what are you going to do today? And she says, well, I have a doctor's appointment where I have to go check on the baby. And he says, oh, that seems like more fun anyways. Like, why don't I go with you? She tells him, I'm a big girl. I got this. So you go be a big boy and get that job back. And I'm going to be a big girl and I'm going to go check on our baby. So he gets up and he goes to talk to Sugar Bear. The next scene is her at the doctor's appointment. They just check on the baby. The baby has a strong heartbeat. And then the doctor like tells her that she already knows the gender of the baby, which is so wild because like we're like watching it and we're like, she just found out like 2 days ago that she was pregnant, right? Like according to our timeline on what we're watching, like she just told her family just found out the day before, and she only found out like 2 days before that, and all of a sudden they know the gender of the baby. Like, holy smokes, things moving fast. But really, I really think like a lot of this was put on for the show. I think they knew the gender before we saw the reveal. I think they knew that she was pregnant before. Yeah, I think a lot of this put on for the show. So anyways, the doctor's like, do you want to know the sex of the baby? And she's like, yes. So the doctor tells her. And the next scene is Josh showing up at Sugar Bear's office or the shop, whatever you want to call it. Sugar Bear is loading up like lawnmowers. He has this truck ready to go. They're about to go out and cut some grass. And Josh walks up and Sugar Bear sees him and says, what the hell are you doing here? Josh tells him, like, I come to work, right? Sugar Bear tells him that he does not think that's going to be a good idea after what happened, and that Jennifer basically let him know that he needed to let him go. And Josh says, look, dude, I get it. A lot of things happened yesterday. The way the women acted was just not okay, but I had nothing to do with that. I found out they were coming when they walked in the house. And then I tried to call y'all, but y'all didn't answer. So, like, I'm so sorry. I never meant for that to happen. I need a job, and I'll do whatever. He's like, you're not going to find anybody else that's going to weed eat as good as I will. Like, please let me keep this job. And Sugar Bear says, if I go home and tell Jennifer that I didn't fire you today, she's going to be mad at me. And Josh says, well, if I go home and tell Pumpkin that you did fire me today, she's going to be mad at me. Sugar Bear ends up saying, like, okay, you're right. I'm going to let you keep working. And in a confessional, he says again, he says, Josh takes care of Alana. And Josh has helped me a lot with trying to rebuild my relationship with Alana. So I feel like I owe it to him to let him continue working for me. I feel like he's right, too. I feel like that was a good call. Back at the house, Pumpkin and Ella, they are making a gender reveal cake. And she spills the beans to Ella. Ella asks, like, what are we making a cake for? And Pumpkin tells her, for your baby sibling. She's like, I have a secret. And Ella goes, I want to know the secret. So she tells Ella the secret. She lets Ella know that Ella's going to have a new baby brother and that they're making a cake so it could be the gender reveal. So they can let Gigi and Josh, you know, her dad and everybody know what the sex of a baby is going to be. So they continue making the cake. The next scene, we get to see Geno, Mama, and Alana. They are going out to eat. They sit outside. They order like 10 wings a piece, fries, sweet tea, garlic something, I don't know. And Geno orders a salad and 1 slice of pizza. And he tells the girls, he's like, look, you guys need to like reel it in a little bit. Like, that's a lot. Y'all are eating really unhealthy. And Alana, like, you just went to the doctor to get checked for diabetes. Like, y'all gotta be careful. And Alana's like, no, when I'm with Mama, I'm gonna eat good. We see Alana in a confessional and she says the same thing. She's like, when I'm with Mama, Mama lets me eat. She's like, and it's hard not to want to eat around Mama because Mama's always stuffing her face with something. So they order their 10 chicken wings, their fries, and their sweet tea, and their garlic stuff, and they sit there and they enjoy their food. But they do talk about the diabetes situation. And they basically tell her, like, look, if you are diabetic, you are not going to be able to eat like this. You are going to have to control what you eat. They then start talking about Pumpkin being pregnant, and Mama June tells Alana again, like, hey, if things get crazy over there or if it's too much, you can always call me and you can come out to see me for a little bit. And Alana tells Mama June, she's like, well, I'm not really planning any trips out there until after you go to court for your charges. Like, we need to see how that's going to play out before I plan any trips to go see you guys. And Mama June's like, well, it's fine. Like, we're not going to jail. You ain't even got to think about that. And Alana says to Mama June, you really like to sugarcoat things, don't you? Geno tells Alana, like, look, we might go to jail. I'm looking at 10 years and your mom's looking at 2 years. The whole time that he's talking about this, Mama June's just like, it's not going to happen. We're not going to jail. Don't worry about it. But Geno, he is being honest about the situation. Like, he knows what they're facing. Geno is once again shown in a confessional saying, I'm really going to have to do something drastic or shocking to show June the reality that we are facing right now. Like, that we very well may go to jail, and we're not going to go to some celebrity jail. Like, this is serious. Later on that night, we're back at the house. Pumpkin, Ella, Gigi, Alana, Jessica, and Josh, and Geno, they're all back in the living room, and they have the cake. Mama June and Ella start cutting the cake, and they put a big piece into Josh's plate, and Josh looks confused because the inside is blue, and everybody's like, it's blue. Why is the cake blue? So Pumpkin tells Ella, tell them why your cake's blue. And Ella says, for my baby. And everybody's still kind of confused. Pumpkin says, tell them what kind of baby we're having. And Ella says, a baby brother. And everybody's very shocked, like extremely shocked. Josh is like, well, holy crap. They had no idea that it would be a girl. They all assumed that it would be a boy. Geno was like, are you serious? It's going to be a boy? Mama June, she's like, we don't really know how to handle boys. Like, we don't know nothing about boys. And she says the only people in their family to have boys is Dodo has a boy and Amber has a boy. But other than that, everyone has girls. So this is going to be a new avenue for them, you know, like raising a boy. Right after that scene, they're in a confessional where Mama June and Geno are talking about the fact that she's pregnant with a boy. And Mama June is like, I really just want to be here. I want to take care of them. I don't even feel like I should be going back to Florida right now because I need to be where I can help her. And she says Pumpkin doesn't know how to take care of a boy, and I don't really either, but I want to be here to help her. Geno says, well, what if you're in jail? And Mama June is like, I'm going to be here. I'm not going to be in jail. When that baby's born, I'm going to be here with them, and I'm going to be here afterwards to help her take care of that baby. And Geno's like, well, what are you going to do if you get put in jail? Are you going to end up breaking out of jail so you can be here with the baby? And Mama June says, no, I've spoken it into the universe. I've put it out there. So I just know I'm not going to be in jail when she has this baby. Later that night, everyone's back in the living room. It's their last night before they leave. They're having fun. They're playing music. They're singing. Ella's singing a song about her baby brother. It's extremely loud. Josh comes in like holding his ears, and he's like, I'm going to go to bed. You guys are being really loud. I got to get some sleep. Geno gets up as well, and he goes to the room too. He tells the girls like, good night. We got an early morning. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to bed as well. He goes to bed, but once he gets in the room, he makes a phone call to the sheriff in Alabama. And the sheriff's like, hey, what's up, Geno? And Geno says, look, you told me a while back that if I needed anything, just to give you a call. And I need your help. He tells the sheriff that Mama June is not taking this serious, that she's just banking on them not going to jail, that she just feels like they're not going to have to serve any time. And he tells the sheriff, we need to do something to prove to her, to show her that if she goes to jail, it's not going to be some celebrity jail. Like, this is real. She's facing real time, and she could have to do like 2 years in a jail with people that literally will beat her up for whatever reason. He's like, we have to take some drastic measures because I just don't know what to do. He's like, I've tried to tell her, she just won't listen. And the sheriff's like, look, I got an idea. You bring her to me tomorrow and we'll take care of it. He's like, I'll make a believer out of her. So the next morning, Pumpkin is talking to Ella. They're talking about baby names, and Ella said that she wanted to name the baby Banana Joe. And then later on, she said she wanted to name it Baby Bentley. Ella talks about her baby brother and how she's not going to change diapers, and her baby brother can't play with her mermaid, but she's going to love her baby brother and she's going to be a good big sister. A little bit later, they have breakfast. Pumpkin cooks like biscuits and eggs and bacon for breakfast, and she tells Mama June to get used to crabby food because that's what she's going to have to eat when she goes to jail. Once again, Mama June is like, look, I'm not going to jail, and if I do, I'm going to be in a celebrity jail with chefs, so I'm not going to have to eat no bad food. Like, it'll be decent food there because I'm going to have a chef. And once again, they're like, she is out of her mind. Pumpkin and Jessica, they're in the kitchen, and they're talking about how just delusional Mama June is in regards to the reality that she's facing. They're like, she has no idea. And Jessica's like, just because you're a celebrity, it doesn't mean you can, wiggle your way out of everything. She's like, especially prison. And mama is looking at prison time. Geno and Alana, they're in the living room. And Alana looks like she's like worried about something. So Geno asks her, what's wrong with you? And she tells Geno that she's just worried about Mama June. She's like, she does not want to accept the fact that she may go to jail. I know she's not prepared to go to jail. And I worry about what's going to happen if she goes to jail. Geno tells Alana that he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that if Mama June does go to jail, that she's more prepared than she is right now. And he tells her, he says, that's a promise that I'm making you. I will do whatever I can to make sure she is prepared if she has to go. After that, Geno tells Alana that they have to go. So he gets up and he calls for Mama June. He's like, hey, we got to get on the road. We got to go. They tell everybody goodbye and they leave. Now, they get on the road and they're heading out. And Mama June is like, where are we going? Like, this isn't the way back home, so where are we going? And Geno tells her that he has a surprise for her and he's planning like something special for them. So Mama June gets excited. They pull into a store and he's like, go get you something. She's like, I'm gonna get me a little piece of peace. He's like, you gonna get you a little piece of something. He's like, get out there and go in and get you some snacks before we get to where I'm about to bring you. So Mama June's all excited, thinking that they're having like a romantic getaway. But while she's in the store, he actually calls the sheriff and he's like, we're getting close. We're about an hour out. She has no idea. And he's like, we'll be there soon. So Mama June comes out. She's got these incense because she thinks they're about to go on like this romantic getaway. She's got incense. She's got snacks. She like put some wafers in front of Geno's face. And he's like, is that a block of cheese? She's like, no, it's wafers, dude. She's like, I'm super excited about this. So she gets in the car. They leave and they pull up to the prison and she's like, what the hell are we doing here? And he's like, I want to show you something. She's like, I just talked to the sheriff. Like, we don't need to be here. What are you doing? They pull up and they get out and the sheriff and like two other guys are standing there waiting on them. And she's like, hey sheriff, like we just talked. I just told you that we're doing really good. So like, I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know what the point of this is, but you know we're doing really good. We're almost 1 year sober. And he's like, you're right, we did talk. He's like, but I think we got some more business to handle. And he tells the guys to handcuff her. And they handcuff her and she's furious. She's mad at Geno. She's like, you are not, like, you have got to be kidding me. You're really doing this to me? And Geno tells her, it's for your own good, baby. Like, I promise you, it's for your own good. They put her in the truck. Now, one thing I noticed is when they were pulling off in the truck, she like removed her mask. And I was like, hold up, I thought they had her handcuffed. Maybe they took her cuffs off when they put her in the vehicle. I don't know. To me, I thought I caught something like with editing. I was like, they really didn't have her cuffed the whole time. Maybe they took her cuffs off when she got in the vehicle. Maybe that's standard. I don't know. But anyways, I did notice that. They pull her around into the, like the gates or whatever. They get her out. They walk her through. And the sheriff goes from being like, nicey, nicey, Mama June, I'm proud of you, to like, sheriff, like we on my time now and what I say goes. So they're walking down the hall and he says, everybody look who I got, Mama June. And the people in the sales, they're like hitting the sales and they're hollering Mama June's name. And she's shown in the confessional saying that she is very mad, that she cannot believe that Geno done this to her, and that walking down that hallway is really like affecting her anxiety. She's like, I have anxiety already. I was here last year, but I don't remember any of it. I just remember the fact that I didn't like it. And now I'm here clear-headed, and this is really working on my anxiety. Like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this. So they put her in a room and they slam the door. And she has the orange jumpsuit on and everything. They booked her. They took her mugshot. They put her in there and they slammed the door. And a few minutes later, the sheriff opens the door and he's like, I'll have your roommate in here in just a second. And he slams the door again and he turns around and he walks off. And the only thing that I know for next week's episode is Geno. I don't know how long Mama June stays. I don't know if she stays like the night or just a few hours. But Geno does go for what appears to be a visitation. And they're looking at each other through the glass. They have a phone. And she's like, what the hell are you doing here? So she's mad at Geno for doing this. He's doing it to show her a little bit of taste of what life is going to be like if she has to go to jail, to make her see, like, this is what we're looking at. It's not going to be no nice jail. We're not going to have a chef. And we really could be going here. So get it in your mind. Like, stop ignoring what could happen. You guys let me thoughts in the comment section below about this episode. A lot of it, like I said, I think a lot of it is staged for entertainment. It is entertaining, so that's what it is. What do you guys think about what Geno done to Mama June? If you were Mama June, would you be absolutely pissed at your boyfriend for doing this to you? Or, I mean, I think probably anybody would, right? Do you guys think that Mama June deserved to have this done to her just because of how much in denial she was over them possibly going to jail? Do you think it was a good move that he made? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I will be here for next week's episode to give you guys a recap on that as well. Give this video a big thumbs up, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.